Good evening. On behalf of the commissioners and staff, I would like to welcome you to the August 26, 2025 City of Roseville Public Utilities Commission meeting. This seven-member commission is responsible for studying and advising the City Council regarding all utilities owned or operated by the city, including electric, water, wastewater, and solid waste. The Public Utilities Commission advises the City Council regarding planning rates, public information, cable television enterprises, franchises, and other matters relating to such enterprises, and may also hear citizen complaints as to operational rates. The Public Utilities Commission also advises the City Council regarding the activities of such joint powers agencies as the city may be a member of or which relate to such utility enterprises. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to put their electronic devices on silent. All right. Pam, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner DeLacy?
Here.
Commissioner DeMarchi?
Here.
Commissioner Maish?
Here.
Commissioner Petriborg?
Here.
Commissioner Springer and Commissioner Webb both have excused absences, and Chair Bielski.
Here.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mace, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
Everybody stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 4 on the agenda is public comments. This item is for anyone who'd like to address the commission on any item that is not on tonight's agenda. When addressing the commission, please state your first and last name for the record. Anyone? Okay, right. Item 5.1 is the approval of the July 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes. Do any of the commissioners have any suggested corrections or clarifications to the minutes at this time? Okay. Is there anyone from the public who would like to come forward and address the commission on this item? Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
Abstentions, I wasn't here.
Okay, thank you. Item 5.2, selection of chair and vice chair. Next on the agenda is the selection of our chair and vice chair for this commission. In accordance with the city's boards and commissions' administrative standards, the chair and vice chair shall be selected annually by the commission. The selected chair and vice chair will assume their positions at the next regular meeting in September. Could our legal counsel please walk us through this process?
Thank you, Chair Bielski. Yep, we're going to handle the chair and the vice chair as two separate selection processes here. And what we'll do is I will, not right now, but in a moment, I will open it up and ask if anybody wants to nominate anyone to be the chair. You can nominate yourself. You can nominate someone else. You're welcome to nominate one of the commissioners that's not here, Commissioner Springer or Commissioner Webb, as long as you're on the commission. Doesn't matter. You're welcome to be the chair. You can be a chair again, all that good stuff. And so I am going to open it up for nominations to see if anybody wants to be the chair, and then if there is more than one, we can have a discussion, but ultimately we'll move forward, and if there's unanimous consent, we'll ask for a motion. And so would anyone at this time like to nominate anyone or nominate themselves to be chair starting at the September meeting?
I would like to nominate Einer to be the chair.
Okay.
Respectfully, I have put my name in the hat to join the Planning Commission. And so I would nominate Mr. DeLacy to be chair.
Would anyone like to second that?
I would second that.
Okay, so before we move on to asking for a motion, would anyone from the public like to comment on the selection of the chair? Seeing no public comment, yes.
Can I
Commissioner
comment?
DeLacy. Yes, you may.
The only issue I have is I have knee replacement surgery September 8th. And so I'll for sure be out in that first meeting in September. If we have one, I hear we may not have one. but probably back for October 8th meeting.
I am actually fairly confident that we are not going to have a September meeting. I know that electric has a conflict for that one, and in discussions with EU, it looks like we're not going to have that meeting at all for September, which would push us to the October meeting. And if you were not available for the October meeting, we could still have the vice chair be
sure.
the chair
Yeah.
for that meeting. And so
Okay.
I think we could get away with that. So would anyone like to make a motion to appoint Commissioner DeLacy as chair of the Public Utilities Commission starting in September?
I would make that motion.
I'd second.
Okay, we have a motion and it's been seconded. Pam, will you please call the roll on this? We're looking for an aye or a no vote on having Commissioner DeLacy as chair.
Commissioner DeLacy,
Yes?
Commissioner DeMarchi,
Aye.
Commissioner Maish,
Aye.
Commissioner Petriborg,
Aye.
and Chair Bilski.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, congratulations,
Thank you.
future Chair DeLacy. Okay, now we're going to move on to the vice chair position, same process. And so would anyone like to nominate anyone or themselves to be vice chair of the Public Utilities Commission?
Well, I'll nominate Commissioner DeMarchi. I like the idea DeLacy DeMarchi, so to be the vice chair of the commission.
Okay,
It's kind of cool.
do you accept that nomination?
Sure.
Wonderful.
Good, I second it then.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a nomination for Commissioner DeMarchi to be the vice chair. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on that? Okay, seeing none, I'm looking for someone to make a motion to appoint Commissioner DeMarchi as vice chair.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a motion, it's been seconded. Pam, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Commissioner DeLacy,
Aye?
Commissioner DeMarchi,
Aye.
Commissioner Maish,
Aye.
Commissioner Petriborg, and Chair Bilski.
Aye.
All right, wonderful.
Congrats.
Congratulations to the both of you.
That takes effect next meeting?
Takes effect next meeting. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, item 5.3 is the Environmental Utilities Monthly Update Report by Environmental Utilities Assistant Director Devin Whittington, summarizing the monthly status of environmental utility activities. Did I miss something?
No, you did
Item
not.
3.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Just Noel.
You're, yes,
one
I'm
off?
pinch hitting.
Okay. All right. Okay, I stand corrected.
It's
Do I have a bad agenda?
perfect. I'll go ahead and jump in. My name's Noelle Maddock, and I'm the Utility Government Relations Administrator. I am here on behalf of Devin, who was not able to make it. So just have a few updates for you. Just would like to confirm, yes, the September meeting is going to be canceled. And then the commissioners, you should have received an email from Katrina regarding the commissioners' appreciation dinner. And so just wanting to make sure that you remember to RSVP by October 1st. And then Pam is going to be reaching out to you all to schedule a meeting with our EU's executive team, our director and assistant directors, to go over future agenda items that you would like to see. And then just a quick update, we have 2 of our ASR wells that are under construction. We anticipate that those should be finished in the summer of '26. And then you probably have heard or seen all of the work out on Church Street, and that is pretty much getting wrapped up. We're just having to do some inspections at this time. And that concludes the department update.
Thank you, Noel. Do any members of the commission have questions for Noel?
One question. When is the meeting for, you mentioned beginning of your talk? The upcoming meeting?
The upcoming meeting,
Mention the meeting.
oh, Pam is going to be reaching out to each of the commissioners to schedule some time
Okay.
with you.
Pretty soon, or it's gonna be late for that.
Sorry about that. I was like,
right.
what?
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All right. Is there anyone from the public who would like to come forward and address the commission on this item? Thank you so much, Noel.
Sure.
All right. Item 5.4, water rate assistance, RAP overview, presentation by Environmental Utilities Government Relations Administrator Noel Matok with an overview of the water rate assistance program. This item is for recommendation.
Yes. Thank you and good evening. I am excited to be here to, you guys are getting the first view of our water rate assistance program that we're hoping to launch as of December 1st. The purpose of our presentation tonight, I'm going to be providing you an overview of the motivating factors leading EU to move forward with our proposal at this time. Additionally, I'll share the program design and the eligibility criteria for participants, and then I'll highlight the financial and community impacts, and then I would like to garner your support as we move this forward to City Council. So a little bit about the background. Actually, Roseville has a long history of supporting residents with water affordability. In fact, dating back to the 1990s, the city offered a water rate assistance program. However, after the passage of Proposition 218, we were actually required to disband that program. Since that time, California has taken significant steps to elevate water affordability as a statewide priority. And the passage of the Human Right to Water established California as the first state in the nation to recognize that every human being has the right to safe, clean, affordable, and accessible water adequate for human consumption, cooking, and sanitary purposes. So building on that framework, the State Water Resources Control Board has developed affordability standards to guide utilities and policymakers. They define water affordability of basic drinking water service costs that do not exceed 2% of a median income, household income, or 2.5% to 3% when it's combined with water and wastewater services. These standards are actually being used as the foundation for proposed state programs, which included legislation such as SB 222, AB 1255 from last year, and SB 350 from this year. Roseville has been engaged on and provided briefings to this commission of those proposals over the years. Despite the efforts, barriers still remain, like the constitutional restrictions under Proposition 218 and 26 that prohibits utilities from using rate revenues to subsidize a subset of our customers. This has really limited the ability for some local agencies to implement sustainable assistance programs. That's where our RAP program comes in, with the state momentum continuing to build around affordability and new opportunities to align with our policy objectives. Roseville is now in the position to reintroduce assistance in a way that is both legally sound and responsive to the needs of our community. So despite having some of the most affordable rates in the region, over the past few years, EU has received feedback from customers expressing concerns over affordability of water and wastewater during our rate proceedings. So at the heart of the issue really are the rising costs to maintain and build new infrastructure and the impacts of inflation and compliance with new laws and regulations. So in response, Roseville is now poised to be proactively addressing the expressed concerns. Our program is designed to directly meet the needs of income-qualified residents here in Roseville. We recognize that the state is continuing to emphasize the efficient use of water supplies, while at the same time utilities across California face rising capital costs. With that in mind, we've structured our RAP program to provide assistance where it can make the greatest impact by applying the discount to the fixed portion of a customer's water bill. This approach ensures stability for participants while supporting efficient usage. We have also ensured compliance with Proposition 218. Because the program will be funded through late fee revenues, these are classified as non-rate revenue, we are able to provide this program. Finally, we've designed the program to be efficient and cost-effective. We've accomplished this by leveraging existing processes and systems. This allows us to minimize administrative costs and ensure the maximum benefit flows directly to our customers. So for specifics of our program, to qualify for the RAP program, we are using the Electric Rate Assistance Program. If they are enrolled in it, it's similar. To be enrolled in RAP, you have to be at 200% or below the federal poverty level. This is the same as the electric rate program. For customers who receive electric and water service, those who have been qualified for the ERAP program, they will automatically be enrolled into our RAP program. And then depending upon our available funding, a customer who's enrolled in the program will receive up to 20% off of their fixed charge on the water bill. And also consistent with the ERAP program, customers will be required to recertify their eligibility every 3 years. And then customers would begin receiving a benefit as of December 1st, pending City Council approval. So talking about leveraging our existing systems, to dive a little deeper into the auto-enrollment proposal, enrollees in the Energy Rate Assistance Program, again, will automatically get enrolled into RAP. These customers have already been verified to meet the income qualifications, and their RAP recertification timeline will actually coincide with their enrollment in the ERAP program, eliminating the need for customers to reapply multiple times for the programs, and again, reducing our administrative burden. And by auto-enrolling the ERAP customers, we anticipate we're going to kick off the program with 994 residents who'll be enrolled into it. So moving on to some of the financial considerations of implementing our program. Based on the current ERAP, we'll have 994 automatically enrolled. And there are approximately 90 customers that do not receive electric service. So we plan to do targeted outreach to those households to make them aware of our new program. In year one, we are anticipating an enrollment of up to 1,084 customers, which would mean up to $84,000 in benefits being provided in the first year. And with the anticipated rate increases, this will move up to about a little over $106,000 in fiscal year 2030. Annually, we receive about $150,000 in late fees for the water utility, and this more than covers the program costs and allows for a reduction in late fees that we receive as customers are able to start paying their bills on time. Staff believes that our approach provides for the long-term sustainability of the program, and it can be replicated for the wastewater utility in the future. Again, recapping some of the community benefits of the program, it's responsive to customer comments during our rate case proceedings by offsetting impacts, by reducing the costs for those who can least afford it, and it promotes water security for about 1,000 households right out the gate. It's going to aid in preventing shutoffs due to non-payment, and then improves the water utility's financial stability. And it is, again, designed to be expanded to the wastewater utility in the future. Timeline for implementation. In July, we received approval from EU's executive team to move forward, and they set our target implementation date as of December 1st of this year. So we're kicking off our outreach tonight here with you all. So, and then from October to December, we'll be communicating with our customers about the program and then informing all of the ERAP customers that they're going to be auto-enrolled into the new program. And with that, that brings me to my recommendation. And I would like to seek your recommendation for the City Council to approve the creation and implementation of the Water Rate Assistance Program. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I'd like to know, how is a customer's qualifications verified?
That is going to be verified if they are already enrolled in another safety net program. That's what will be used. So again, if they're enrolled in RAP, that's one of the qualifications, but if they receive food assistance or any other assistance, that is what is used. And so we're just using the exact same pathway that electric is using.
So if they're automatically enrolled, there's no verification that their circumstances haven't changed?
So the qualifications of the program, the way it's currently set up, electric, they have to recertify every 3 years their eligibility. And so what we're doing with our program, we're just going to roll with the timeline that they had established with electric. So there will be a few customers, I forget off the top of my head, I want to say there may have been like 15 or 20 that would be recertifying in that first couple of months, but they'll be recertifying for both programs at the same time.
Okay, and then,
Does that make sense?
yes, but what are the guidelines? If there's 3 families living in one home, do they still qualify? What are the guidelines set up?
So it's based upon the household, so the number of households, and they have to self-certify, and it's under penalty of perjury.
Okay.
In the total scheme of things, it's not a huge expense, as I look at it.
Yeah.
Again, it's a lot of work for a very small subset of population, but in that regard, we really don't have a choice in this matter because it's all mandated by the state. We have to implement this program, is that correct?
We are not mandated yet.
Okay, so
When?
when is the effective date?
So the legislation has been parked this year because the state can't afford it, but we do see this as something that is going to happen. The authors of that legislation have said that they're going to be coming back next year with their proposal.
Okay, I don't know if I just heard you correctly. You said the state can't afford it, or?
Yes, the state can't afford it. The state has been trying for a number of years to create a statewide program that they fund.
Okay, I see.
Right?
All right.
So right now, they can ill afford to add something else. So they creatively have looked as well to local governments to implement programs. For commissioners that were here last year, you may remember me talking about SB 1255. That program mandated that we create a program and we put automatically on someone's bill a voluntary donation that they had to opt out of. You may remember. So we're trying, by having a program in place, that allows us to go to the legislature and say, grandfather our program out of it, let us take care of our residents, and then we don't have to abide by all of their mandates. Over the year, our program is really built around all of the core elements that have been required in legislation over the past almost 2 decades.
Okay, then my other question is, there are 94, I'm not getting sort of family, but 94 individuals.
It's 994 households.
No, but I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Just households.
There's a subset of that don't receive a electric bill, but they receive a water bill. So how do they
Yes.
receive a water bill? Is there a separate, are they living in an ADU and they have a water meter, but they don't have an electric meter?
If I'm not mistaken, they're mostly condominiums, if I'm remembering correctly.
Where water's included?
And yes. So, but the service areas don't quite overlap. They don't receive an electric bill, but they
Okay.
do receive a Roseville water bill.
Okay, all right. And then just to,
Or they're in PG&E,
To
obviously,
follow
they're in
up on-
PG&E territory or SMUD.
so to follow up on Commissioner DeMarchi's query about income eligibility, so let's say there's an individual, and this is from my past life, so I'm going to throw this out. So let's say there's a person who's a dual eligible Medicare, Medi-Cal beneficiary. So they qualify for assistance, and their qualification is based on 125% of income. So this program is 200%. So even though they've declared eligibility on 125% of FPL, they would still qualify?
Yes,
another
because it goes
assistance
up to
program.
200% of the
Okay, so
federal.
it's a range. It's
It-
like, okay, all right, that makes sense now.
Yes, so if it's actually allowing more people to fit into the program by saying 200%
Got it.
of the federal poverty level.
I'm guessing that, and you can answer it, there are probably other cities in the area, Placer County and elsewhere, that are of our size or smaller or bigger, that are considering similar programs yet this year? You know?
We did research, and I'm very sorry, I should have brought all of the ones that we reached out to. There are some within the greater Sacramento area that do have programs, and then there are other ones statewide. Within Placer County, I don't remember off the top of my head. I can go back and provide that information to you.
Can I jump in and add a couple of items that may resolve some of the questions that Commissioner DeMarchi had? I just pulled up the Electric Rate Assistance Program application, and I know some of your questions were about income eligibility. And so since this program is going to be the same thing, what they're looking at is you're going to show your proof of eligibility that you are receiving CalFresh, SNAP, which is like a food stamps type of program, any sort of Section 8 housing assistance. That would automatically qualify you, like Noel was saying. The other item would be for every member of the household that is 18 years or older, you need to either provide a unemployment letter that you're receiving, that you're currently receiving unemployment benefits, or a current copy of your federal tax return. So that's how we go through with the income qualification every year, where we're looking at everybody over the age of 18 in the household, combining all of that. And if you're at less than 200% of the federal poverty level, then you're able to qualify for this program.
What is 200% of the federal poverty?
If you are a household family size of just one or two people, the 200% of federal poverty level is 40,880. If you're a household family size of 4, it's 62,400. If you're a household family, so you can have 3, families living together, but you're counting everybody over 18. 8 people over the age of 18 can have a combined household income of 105,000.
Thank you for the assist, Joe.
You're welcome.
And we will somehow
Teachers almost qualify.
break even administering this program.
Yes. At least by my calculations at this point in time, we should not be expending all of our funds. We don't know how this is going to impact folks' ability to pay on time. So we are kind of building in that cushion in case that does help folks to be paying on time. Then we'll see a reduction in the late fee revenues.
And curious, is there a grace period for payment of your, I'm an automatic payment, so I know. But I mean, is there a 30-day grace period? Do you have, or not?
It's,
Because I mean, for example, I've worked
Gotta
with
be
people
some.
that live literally hand to mouth, and so if they're a day late, is that impacting the? I guess
I'm not implementing, so.
I'm sorry, I don't want to belabor this, but what's considered late, and then when does some kind of repercussion or action then take place?
My understanding is if you're past the due date, then that is when a late fee would be assessed. So if you're a day late, that technically would, but I don't know if someone comes in and,
Or they drop in the mailbox the day it's due or whatever, you know, I mean, yeah.
They give you 30 days to pay,
Is it 30 days? Okay,
pretty sure.
yeah. Once you receive your bill, you have 30 days to pay,
got it.
right?
Okay.
It's not due on demand, right? Yeah.
So,
It is,
My
but,
question is, who pays the late fees? Is it the same people who are going to receive the benefit?
we don't know. I've heard the way customers sometimes pay. My anecdotal information is from like the COVID time. A lot of people at that time weren't paying until they received a late fee or a late notice, and then they would make their payment. So I can't tell. We don't know, right?
well, at some point you hang a door hanger that says we're going to turn you off.
Right. During COVID, we didn't do that.
Okay.
Because at that point, they said we couldn't shut off services, so that's why we had amassed all of those arrearages for all of the utilities.
So you probably don't know the answer to this one either, since you're not in operations, but I always thought it was a more humane thing to orifice people down to where, you know, they had enough water to flush a toilet, to fill a pot, to cook, to wash their hands, but it might take, you know, a whole day to fill a bathtub if you want to take a bath. But at least they had water for health and safety.
Right.
Rather than turning them off. Have we ever considered such a thing instead of turning people off?
I know that there's been conversations about that, but I don't think a definitive decision has been made.
Okay.
It's a good idea. I think water is so important to everybody. That
Yeah.
Imagine doing that.
Okay. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I would make
sorry.
the.
So wait, I would like
motion.
for us to ask for public comment before anybody has any thoughts of a motion,
Were there
for
any
sure.
further questions from the commission? All right. So anyone from the public would like to come forth and address the commission on this issue? All right, so I believe we need a motion could you put the resolution back up there, please? So to recommend to the city council to approve this program.
Yes.
The motion.
All right. So the motion would be, the Public Utilities Commission recommends the city council approve the creation and implementation of the Water Rate Assistance Program, RAP, and Commissioner DeLacy has just made that
No, I will
motion.
second the motion.
And Commissioner Maish has seconded. Does Pam need to do a roll?
We're gonna call
vote
roll on this one, yep.
Yes.
Could I ask a question before we take the roll? This is all just question and answer, but is there something published against the dialogue that you provided us? Or it's,
No, I am unveiling it for the very first time here in public to you all.
yeah, I respect that. And I heard you say it, but I guess it seems to me like, are we ready actually to say, yeah, go ahead and take it and run with it? You know, all the,
We're welcome to have further discussion on whether or not we would want to recommend this to city council. If we're not ready to recommend it to city council, we're welcome to have a discussion about it of maybe there may be some other things we want to hear from staff, or I make the recommendation that we approve this project or program with these XYZ changes, you know, as compared to what staff presented. This is the time for us to have a discussion. If you make a recommendation as the PUC to recommend that this program be approved, I think the plan is to take this, if the approval happens here tonight, the plan is to take it to council when?
We are slated to be at first hearing on October 1st.
Okay, so.
Excuse me, I think I know where Gus is going. Is there any like legal requirement this had to be noticed or published in a?
This met all required legal notices that were needed for this meeting. This agenda is published at least 72 hours in advance pursuant to the Brown Act. I don't know what we did, maybe a week for this one. So that is technically when the public was notified of this. And this is, just an opportunity to accept more public comment. If anybody wanted to make any comments, they would have been able to come tonight. They're still welcome to come on October 1st when this is presented to City Council for them to actually formally decide. I would imagine there would be more participation in that meeting as opposed to this one, but we wanted to just make sure that this gets out to the public, as well as this meeting is now available online to everyone to be able to look and see the information. Anybody's welcome to reach out to EU at any time to get more information before this goes to council. It goes to council October 1st. It has to go back to council a second time. And so theoretically, October 15th or whatever that
15th,
meeting
yes.
is. And then it goes into effect 30 days thereafter. But I think we're trying to put the plan in place by December.
December 1st.
Yeah. And so there's certainly time for commissioners or the public to provide any sort of feedback that they want in the meantime.
Based on what I've heard, I see no reason not to proceed.
So this would basically just move it out of our hands.
Yep.
City Council. Okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. And in other programs, I mean, I know this is a program that normally, if we had the availability and the time, may go on a road show. You go around to some various places and have community meetings where people are able to hear more about this. But this was, this was the proper venue for this to be brought.
And we do plan on sharing with Sun City, and then if we're able to get on Arcona's calendar as well, we plan on doing a presentation to them as well.
Sure, yeah.
So,
Anything further?
So we have a motion, we have a second, we've had a discussion. You're welcome to ask for more discussion. We can take a vote now. You're in charge.
All right. Anything further? Okay, all right, Pam, go ahead and call for the vote.
Commissioner DeLacy,
Aye?
Commissioner DeMarkey,
Aye.
Commissioner Maish,
Aye.
Commissioner Petriborg,
Aye.
and Chair Bilski.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, thank you again, Noel, you're a good sport.
thank you, thank you.
Okay, next item is item 5.4, item 5.5, Roseville Electric Utility Monthly Update, report by Roseville Chief Executive Officer Dan Beans, summarizing the monthly status of electric utility activities for information. I went to the dentist today and they had to prepare a thing, anyway. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening. Thank you, Chair Volsky and Commissioners. Happy to be here. So I just got a few brief updates, and then we have a couple presentations after that. First of all, we had some excitement today at the REP. Little lightning strikes out there. Took out one of our 60 kV lines and ignited a fire in the gas yard. So we had to stop the plant, shut the gas down, personnel sheltered in place. RFD came out, fire department came out and rescued us and sniffed the area, made sure it was all clear, and then they're putting it back online. So that was a little excitement earlier today.
Any damage or?
I haven't heard of any damage, but hard stopping machines can sometimes create a few issues. But
It's a strange storm.
yeah, it was. It was. On another note, I know COO Matcham last meeting, I think, talked a little bit about we're going to be going out for money probably at the early next year to help fund some of our projects coming up. On that front, we do have our team assembled with our financial advisor and our bond counsel, and through their help, we actually got Moody's to upgrade us a notch from A1 to AA3, so they were one of the agencies that was keeping us a little lower, so that was great. Another thing happening this week is the Balancing Authority of Northern California, which Roseville is part of, along with SMUD and some other members. We are not in the California Independent System Operator Balancing Area. We have our own. We have our annual strategic plan, planning meeting coming up this week. And bank, which is what we call the agency, is super important for us. We do a lot of joint resource and market participation. SMUD, obviously the biggest player in that group. And Sean Matcham, my COO, he actually was appointed chair of bank. So, Roseville's right there chairing bank. And just in general, being part of bank saves our customers millions of dollars every year and avoided transmission access charges and other things. So anyways, just one of the JPAs, one of the many that we are in, and it's just important. On a regulatory note, California Energy Commission approved our 2023 IRP, Integrated Resource Plan, at their business meeting, which contemplates a variety of power sources, including our solar project we're pursuing with storage, along with our natural gas upgrades that we've been doing. And then AMI, automated metering infrastructure, that's been going for about a year. And so we're thinking about October, if you'd like. We could bring a presentation in October. And we don't have tons of data, we have a year, but we could talk about some of the benefits we've noticed. But right now we're using AMI for credit and collections, billing, that kind of thing. There's a whole bunch more things we can do with AMI, engineering-wise, operation-wise. And so we are actually working on prioritizing all of those initiatives. So we can bring our project manager in here and she can go through it and kind of show you what we're looking at. So you can see all the cool things someday we'll be able to do. And with that, I'll take any questions.
I think it's a good idea,
Okay.
presentation.
So I just had one on your AMI. I assume that you can detect, monitor, record each household's peak demand for the month, for the previous month. Would that be something that you could program into?
Yeah, I believe we would see 15-minute demand. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the peak demand was for the household.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd assumed that you could do that. I was just curious.
No, the smart meters, they have a lot of data that's going to be very helpful, especially when you start adding EVs and solar and bidirectional energy and being able to focus infrastructure upgrades where we need them. Certain areas, when you get all that stuff together, some areas may not need to be upgraded right away because there's enough balancing out of other things. So anyway, we just don't have good data until we have AMI. So, but then there's so much data, then how do you use it? How do you make sense of it? I did want to comment really quickly on the shut-off water, electric. To my knowledge, we don't shut water off. Electric is the way we enforce credit and collections. So it's easy, and with AMI, we can click a button and turn it off. So we get to be the bad guy in that scenario.
Yeah, because it's all one bill. They can't differentiate, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Good.
Any other questions, Commission? All right. Thank you, Dan.
All right,
Is
thank
anybody
you.
from the public would like to come forward and address the Commission on this issue? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right. Item 5.6, RPP2 Repower Project, presentation by Principal Power Engineer O.J. Carulli with an overview of the rebuild and replacement of the existing site and equipment for information. Welcome.
Hello. And good evening, Chair Bilski and future Chair Delaney. My name is O.J. Corelli. I'm a principal engineer, as you said, and coming today to talk to you about a exciting project that we've got going on in electric. I know you've heard a little bit about it in the past, but we're getting ready to break ground here, coming in about 30 days. So thought it'd be time to come and share a little bit of information. So kick it off with a little bit of background. So this is our RPP2 site. It was constructed in 1985 by the Northern California Power Agency, or NCPA. This is located north of the city in Placer County, so not in Roseville proper, but due to its proximity to the city, we purchased it from NCPA in 2010. Since then, we've done a number of upgrades, one of them being transitioning from a dual fuel, diesel, and 100% or natural gas to increase the efficiency, and now it's only run off of natural gas, like our other generating facilities. The plant outputs approximately 48 megawatts, which is about 15% of our total generating ability here in Roseville. And it's even though it's about 15%, it's definitely a important resource for meeting our loads. So in the past few years, we've seen the number of run hours increase steadily due to high temperatures in the summers and other things going on throughout the state. So like I said, we primarily use it during the summer as a peaker plant, and that's mostly due to the equipment not having any emissions controls. So in addition to that, it also has a relatively low efficiency. So we typically turn on our units at our Roseville Energy Park and our peak facility before that. But it is important to meeting those peak summer loads. So, you know, additional cost to run the units would be fairly substantial to keep the maintenance on these in the future years. So we did have a few maintenance projects identified, but last year we had an opportunity arise with the California Department of Water Resources. They released a request for information to recite 2 generators that are currently at Yuba City. They were looking for suitable locations because they needed to move the units, and they needed to do it under a tight timeline. So they wanted them removed at the end of this summer and installed again, ready for to meet summer loads of next year. So Roseville did a due diligence study. Part of that was assessing the infrastructure that we had in place, if we could site these units, evaluating the timeline of the project to make sure we could meet the deadlines, and Roseville was able to check all those boxes. So we had adequate gas supply at our RPP2 facility, water, transmission availability, and some of the larger equipment such as substation transformers, which we've talked about in the past, that are very hard to get, long lead items. So those were available. So some of the benefits for replacing the units with the newer ones, as I said before, it's a critical facility for us. We are increasing the capacity from 48 megawatts to 67, and we are then able to redirect all that capital that was going to go into maintenance into newer infrastructure. Another nice thing is these units are identical to the ones at our peak facility that we cited back in 2021, I believe. And so we are standardizing across our fleet, which makes it easier to carry spares, guys working on them. And in addition to that, these new units give us operational flexibility. So they are faster to start. When we want to restart them, we can restart them faster. They are, as I said, cleaner, more efficient, and they are more reliable, being brand new. So, and in the future, if we decide to pursue, they are hydrogen capable as well as a dual fuel. So since we're doing all this work, we are taking the opportunity to redo our 60 kV switch yard that's located right next to it. This equipment has reached its end of life. It was original to the facility, so we're taking the opportunity to gut that as well. So part of that, we're also making provisions to add in a second distribution line in there. So currently the plant is fed radially, and this would be able to increase reliability in the future. So a couple of the key contract terms that were negotiated with the state. They will be packaging up the generators and delivering them to Roseville, where we will take the handoff and we will manage the decommissioning of the existing units at our PP2 and then installing the new ones. And then part of that, obviously, we're taking out one of our generating facilities to site these. So Roseville will continue to get the energy and capacity benefits from the units in the case of any state or local emergency. But we will be able to use the units when we need to. So they will be the last generators that we turn on in this scenario, and then the first generators that we turn off, which is identical to how we are currently operating the plant. So the installation costs are being shared by both Roseville and the state. The contract term is approximately 5 years, ending in November of 2029. And at that point, Roseville will take ownership of the units, and those will become ours, similar to the RPEAK units that we recently took ownership of. Project timeline, as we talked about, is October 1st, coming up right around the corner. And if all goes well, we are going to be online June 1st of next year. So we took all this to council in April of this year, where it was approved. And since then, we've been busy designing and getting everything in place. So, so this slide, or this picture, shows kind of the general layout of the new facility. There on the left, in the red, that's our 60 kV switch yard. That will be done primarily using internal forces with our subtechs and line crews. That is what they do day in and day out, so they will be handling that build. The green are the 2 units there are the new units, and all of that work, along with the civil construction, will be done primarily by a design build contractor. So we went out for an RFP late last year, and we received 2 bids for that. So the contractor will be doing the lion's share of that work. And then we took the opportunity to also do a few add-ons. In the purple down there in the bottom right, those are gas compressors. So we are installing those also at our RPEAK facility. And what that does is it allows us to run the units more efficiently, and gives us less reliability, or allows us to run at a lower gas pressure if something happens to the PG&E line coming in. So makes us a little more resilient. So as we said, we're taking ownership of these units. We're going to be with them for a long time. So everything that we're doing is with that in mind. These are all permanent designs. So far, we've got all of our long lead items ordered, and we're at about 90% of the design phase. So we're chugging along. So a little bit more about the project timeline. September, we are starting our site prep and are making modifications to the access road to get in those larger vehicles. And we're taking the opportunity to demo out all of the non-critical systems that we can while the plant is still operational. October 1st, barring any heat waves or, we will be taking down the plant, and at that time, we'll start demoing out. We've been talking with several neighboring utilities to have a very quick pick and pull. Due to the tight timeline, we don't have the ability to fully evacuate the units and sell them for fair market value, but we are helping out our neighboring utilities that have generators like this as much as we can. So at that same time, the state will be starting to decommission and wrap up the units at Yuba City, and that will continue all the way through January. So November through January on our site, we'll be doing civil construction. We'll be demoing out everything and then laying foundations, new ground grid, getting everything ready for the units when they are delivered in January. February through April, we're looking at continuing to install the units, and in addition to all the ancillary equipment, the control systems, et cetera. May, we're targeting our testing, and then June 1st, the units will be available for dispatch. So a couple of the regulatory requirements that this project has had to meet. One, the city is acting as the lead agency in the CEQA process. We were able to get an exemption because under two classifications. One was a class 2 of a reconstruction, which is the replacement and reconstruction on an existing site. So the units are generally used for the same purpose. We're not expanding the fence line at all, and the overall capacity increase to our system is roughly about 1%. So the other classification that we were able to utilize was Class 8, which is the enhancement and protection of the environment. So as we talked before, the new units, they have protection in there to reduce the catalytic or the emissions that are put out. So they are approximately, I think, an order of magnitude 5 times more efficient and less pollutants than the existing ones. So the other agency that has a stake in this is the California Energy Commission. Originally, the unit was non-jurisdictional due to the size. It was under 50 megawatts. Because we are not increasing the size of the overall site by more than 50, it's still classified as a non-jurisdictional, which is good because any application through that would take 12 months or more. So, and then as we've talked, Placer County Air Pollution Board, they're responsible for the quality of air here in Placer County. And as we've talked about, the units are a lot less, or a lot more efficient and less pollutants in there. So, so we were able to make sure that even though they are running more hours likely in the future, overall with the less pollutants, we weren't going to be triggering I believe it's a Title V major source threshold, which again would be a 12-month process that would kill the project. So a little bit on the financials of the project here. The lion's share of it is in that EPC contractor. That's about $33 million. The 5.9 is the allocated to the switchyard and the compressors, and about 4.1 is internal labor and equipment, an owner's engineer that we went out to help supplement the staff in the design of this, bring it up to 43 million with 5% contingency, rounds it up to about 45. So in addition to that, 8 million is being contributed by the state to help site the units. And when we take ownership in 2029, we will be buying those units out for 9 million. As Dan mentioned, we are going out for a bond. This is one of the projects that we're evaluating. So we do have, so we reserve the right to fund this with bonding, but the electric does have the cash on hand to, if we decide not to go that route. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Sounds like a great opportunity, a smart move, efficient move. Are these powered by duct burners, just like the other units? They reheat the gases to 1,100, 1,200, whatever you heat them up to?
Yeah, so the natural gas is like our turbines in REP, turbines 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So our REP facility has an additional steam turbine generator that captures some of that additional excess heat and then increases the efficiency.
Right.
But is very similar, or exactly similar to the RPEAK ones.
This is just right on the heels of the other rebuild you just completed, right?
Yes, yeah, they're exactly the same units. They fit into our portfolio nicely with some of those other aspects that we were talking about with the fast start, the restarting. Our REP facility is very efficient, but it is a lot larger, and so ramping, starting and stopping, we can't do quite as fast. So
We had some startup issues with the last units you put online, right? Some equipment failures that with the turbine? Is that what I recall?
At the RPEAK facility?
Yeah. In Roseville?
Yeah, at REP. Yeah, so having a diverse fleet is essential for our ability to meet those needs if something happens.
We know what happened before, so we can take, preventive action ahead of time.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the old units, were they hour limited? I mean, did the state have a control on how frequently you could run them?
Yeah, I think our cap was approximately 900 hours a year.
And will there be a cap on the new units as well, or are they clean enough to avoid that?
Yeah, so yes, there will be a cap, but they take the assumed output, and then they convert that into run hours. So I want to say it was somewhere around the area of 900 or 5 times more.
So, okay.
But yeah, overall, we'll be able to run them a lot more, and it'll be less pollutants going into the atmosphere.
So are the ones at the Roseville Energy Park, they're also state limited on the number of hours that they can run?
Those are under so the RPP2 facility is a little bit different because it's it's CEC exempt. So the run hours are not, I guess, apples to apples on that.
I know if you have diesel generators, because PCWA, we had diesel generators, you're only allowed to run them so many hours a year because of the pollutants, right? And I was thinking that the old units were similarly hour limited, but now that you've gone to the improved technology on the exhaust, whatever it is, anyway, that you're no longer, but you are still limited, huh?
Yeah, we are. We can't run them 24/7. There is a threshold. I believe it was that Title V major pollutant threshold. So there is a total yearly cap that we have to stay under. Mm-hmm. But these new units, they've got, it's called a SCR, or Selective Catalyst Reduction.
CR, yeah.
But you'll be able to generate more megawatt hours a year.
Correct,
With
yes.
these units than you would with the old units.
Yes.
Besides being larger, you can run more, okay.
Yep.
Because you had them listed as last on, first off, and I think you said that the ones at the Roseville Energy Park are similar to that?
So under the contract with the state, these will be used only to meet those peak days. So until 2029, that'll be the operating method. And then after that, Roseville will have more opportunity to diversify.
By that time, you might have higher needs too, a lot higher. More construction, more homes, yada, yada.
More Costco's.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
So my question, the Placer County Air Pollution Control District, we need to get a permit from, I know Dan's answered this question before, but the Regional Air Quality Control Board doesn't jump in as well? The state, or am I totally confused? Don't answer that, but.
Yep.
Dan,
Sure.
I'm not an expert on this. We have people that do a lot of this, but, in fact, Joe could probably talk about this even better than all of us. But yes, we work with Placer County on the air permits. At the REP with the units out there, I believe we've successfully combined all of them into the overarching permit for that site. And so, and like OJ mentioned, we have full control and ownership of those, and the cap is high enough that it's not going to impede what we need to do. The RPP2 is different. That I think we still have to work with Placer, and they've been great to work with. And I don't know, Joe, do you have any details you want to?
That's the two main entities that we're working with is the California Energy Commission and the Placer County Air Pollution Control District is the Air Quality Control Board that we care about and has jurisdiction over us with regard to these units.
There's always the threat that, these air pollution control districts, they can do anything they want, in theory.
Well,
At
Placer's,
state level or.
yeah, they've been very,
Hopefully there'll be no.
they're good
further-
neighbors, they're working with us. We haven't had any issues, so.
Good.
Thank you. All right, any other questions from the commission? Are there any members of the public who'd like to come forward and address the commission on this issue? Okay, all right, well, thank you very much.
Good.
All right, so,
Like that.
item 5.7, Roseville Electric 2025 Business and Key Accounts Survey. Results presentation by Customer Programs and Public Affairs Supervisor David Bradford with results from the 2025 Business and Key Account Customer Satisfaction Survey. This item is for information. Okay. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Chair Bielski, Commissioners. Tonight, I will quickly take you through the findings, the results of our 2025 Business and Key Account Customer Survey. Each year, Roseville Electric Utility conducts research to assess our customer satisfaction levels. And as I mentioned, this year, we focused on our key accounts and our business accounts. Next year, we will be surveying our residential customers. We do this in cooperation with California Municipal Utility Association and their vendor, Great Blue Research. Research was conducted in March of this year as an oversample of the statewide survey, which was conducted in January. Surveys were conducted electronically via email. And I wanted to point out that since January of this year, our customers have been receiving bills that reflect the full rate increase that we introduced into as a two-stage rate or two-step rate increase last year. And so these results will reflect our customers receiving their full rate increase. And the good news is that customer satisfaction rates remain strong among our business accounts. So this year's results are shown here in this chart in dark blue. You'll notice a slight decrease in overall satisfaction rating. However, Roseville businesses still indicate that they're significantly more satisfied than businesses served by other public utilities in California. And public utilities still maintain a significant gap when compared against investor-owned utilities. This is something we refer to as our municipal advantage, and I'll touch on that a little bit later. As part of this assessment, we benchmark ourselves against other similar service providers. We show a minor increase over the previous survey conducted in 2022, but basically this shows that our customer service perceptions still remain strong. For our business account research, we gauge the perceived relationship we have with our customer. We ask, do you view Roseville Electric Utility as a valued partner or simply a service provider? Our scores remain strong in this image dimension. Being perceived as a business partner is important, as an important component of our goals with community investment, or involvement rather, and the relationship we have with our customers. When we look at our satisfaction ratings regarding power reliability, we notice an increase in perception of power restoration and the information about restoration. This is the blue column in the middle of the chart there. This is most likely due to the enhanced communication that comes from our outage management system. That's a web-based tool that provides real-time outage information. It was many years in the making, but we installed this new tool, and it's been very valuable in assisting us in communicating what's happening when we do rarely experience an outage, but we're able to get customer information out there quickly. When it comes to customer engagement, we track, among other things, our customer satisfaction with their most recent contact. This measures only responses from customers who've had a recent interaction, and therefore the sample sizes here are rather small. The reported type of contact here was actually split almost equally between phone calls and online engagement. So in this area, we see that we're still receiving strong satisfaction scores. We're now looking specifically at our managed accounts and the service received from our key account representative. You can see that her scores are very strong this year and continue to be higher than what we see from other municipal utilities. So you're looking at the 2024 column there in the middle. We assess her services, her service qualities such as being easy to reach, prompt to response, understanding the customer's needs, as well as overall satisfaction on her performance. When we look at the levels of satisfaction of our rates, the results indicate that customers were aware of changes in rates, and some even expressed dissatisfaction. However, we were able to maintain overall positive scores in comparison to 2022, despite the increase. We see similar results when we're looking at other dimensions, such as price and value. So this is a good thing for us. We asked a new question this year, specific to trust and rate affordability. We found that the majority of our customers do trust that we're working to keep our rates affordable. This is a good indicator that the communication supporting our most recent rate increase was effective. Additionally, trust is one of the main value propositions in our communication campaigns. So a lot of, when we communicate and represent ourselves, we usually identify ourselves as their trusted partners or their trusted advisors. And so this is resonating with them. And our final chart shows that the perception of a municipal advantage is still strong in Roseville. The municipal advantage is the recognition of the benefits received by the customers and the community that come from being served by a municipal utility. This is also a major component of our value proposition messaging and one of the things that we recognize as a publicly owned utility. So if there's one thing to take away from tonight's presentation is that following two very significant back-to-back rate increases, our customer satisfaction scores remain strong. Our customers remain very trustworthy in us and trust us that we are making the right choices and working hard to keep our rates low. And with that, I will take any questions.
Questions?
The source of the gas that we use to enter into the results, how much of that comes from Canada?
I'm sorry, the source of the gas
Natural gas?
comes from PG&E.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a filter that goes through if it does.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious if the Canadian tariffs impacted our scrambling to adjust some figures here.
With regard to our rate increase, there were the pressure to increase our rates came from mainly our power sources as well as operational sources. So the ability to generate and deliver the power to our customers.
Anything else? Okay. David, thank you very much.
Very good.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to come forth and address the commission on this item?
Excellent.
So, one quick thing, because I thought with council had advised that we no longer do commissioner staff reports. Is that correct?
We do commissioner staff reports.
Okay. Next on the agenda is board member, commissioner, or staff reports. Are there any reports from the staff?
The only thing that I was going to mention is that we were not going to have a September meeting, but that was already mentioned.
All right. Any questions from commissioners?
Holding this, the October meeting in meeting rooms 1 and 2.
Oh, yes, that is a good point. We are going to be renovating the council chambers, and beginning October, we are no longer going to be in this room. We're going to be in the Civic Center meeting rooms 1 and 2, which are right over, if you were to walk into the main doors where the rotunda is, they're just to your right. And so when we meet, it'll obviously be on our agenda where the new location is, but we'll make sure we have somebody here that can walk members of the public or any commissioners over to the right spot. But we are no longer going to be in this room, and we won't be in this room for several months as this area gets renovated, and stay tuned for some exciting changes in this room.
Cool.
Anything else? Okay, I have a motion to adjourn.
Go move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned. Students can come up and any commissioner can sign your attendance slip.